See who our champion is going to be, as Turtenwald does have a turn 2 far seek.
All right, that's exactly what Owen wants. John wants to be able to go turn 2 far seek just to speed up into your bigger, powerful spells. And Chris VanMeter. Let's see if maybe has a mulch now.
Maybe a little
Grizzly
mulch,
salvage.
a little grizzly salvage. Yeah, let's see, maybe a sin collector. Okay,
Ooh,
so he
sin
wants to take a
collector,
little
okay.
look-ski-poo.
Owen might not have anything. You know, John doesn't have that many targets. Oh, he's got two.
All right, so he's got 2 targets. He can choose from Bonfire the Dam and Putrefy. You see the rest of his hand there: Thrak Tusk, Arachnos Key Rune, and a Overgrown Tomb.
Yeah, Owen has 11 targets left in his deck.
Okay. So Bonfire, you got to go, and you're ruling the game because Bonfire for right now would be pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
One thing you guys will see here, Owen always draws his card like this. He's very slow and deliberate during his draw step. One of the things here is it could be Bonfire the Damned. It may not be Bonfire the Damned, but he's very slow and deliberate about this.
If it's Bonfire the Damned, I'm certain that Owen will cast the Bonfire there. But instead, I think he's going to go Rakdos Key Rune and tap land. All right, so he's gonna ramp into 6 mana next turn. He doesn't need 6 mana, but
yeah. The reason I like that Owen does that is because he does it every turn. You know, it's not something that he does for show. He does it every turn. You know, is it a Bonfire Dam? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Do I want to cast it? Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Okay.
You know, he's very consistent with that activity.
Yeah, I really like that.
You see VanMeter come across here with the Sin Collector and the Absence Pilgrim. He's not giving any free information away.
All right, so let's see what Chris is deciding to do here. There's an Arbor Elf. Wow, I can only imagine Owen thinking, Bonfire off the top would be so nice.
Yeah.
Chris short of land right there. So he has Olivia. I was actually thinking about that card. I was thinking either Bonfire or Olivia. That's awesome.
Well, Olivia is probably the better of the two. So down goes Arbor Elf.
Yes.
Olivia's going to turn into a 4/4.
Wow,
And
Chris is in trouble.
Is automatically in trouble.
Yeah, very, very much trouble. So, did you see what he just drew? A Fiend Hunter. All right, but Chris knows that Owen has Putrefy because of the Sin Collector, so it could buy him a turn essentially. Wow. Now this is how I thought the game would play out. Owen would draw an Olivia, all right, and Chris would have to find answers, but even his answers aren't real answers.
Yep.
Because Owen has answers to his answers.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just like a Terminator right here, or a Swords to Plowshare, or a Dreadbore, or any card of Magic where Olivia is either exiled or put into the graveyard. It's just hidden for until the Fiend Hunter comes back or the Fiend Hunter dies. All right, so Chris is weighing his options here. I think Owen has to be loving his chances.
It's tough not to feel confident. You got an Olivia Valdarin out there. You've got 3 red manas. That means 3 activations. You also have the ability to shoot something and then take it with a mana screwed opponent. I mean, I'm feeling comfy and cozy right now if I'm Owen.
Yeah, I think what Chris has to do, Chris has to set up something where he's able to Sin Collector the Putrefy out of his hand, then play Fiend Hunter. Otherwise, Chris just playing Fiend Hunter here accomplishes almost nothing.
Yep.
The only thing it accomplishes is trying to set up the top of his deck with land and another Fiend Hunter, because that Absence Pilgrim is also going to get shot down from Olivia. All right.
So he is going to pull the trigger on Fiend Hunter. Chris basically going to make him Putrefy that and get it back, and maybe Chris is thinking to himself, you Putrefy this, maybe I draw another Fiend Hunter, or the land for an additional Fiend Hunter, something like that, as Owen does have the Putrefy. He does draw a Woodland Cemetery. This is going to come back, shoot down the Absence Pilgrim, shoot down the Sin Collector, make that a 5 toughness, 5 power Olivia Valdarin, and put Chris in a very bad way here.
All right, so Chris draws for his turn as an Arbor Elf. Now, all these Arbor Elves and Pilgrims, normally, when you want land, you draw a Pilgrim. It's not the worst thing, but here it is just because Owen is able just to shoot down anything that Chris plays, especially with Chris only having access to 2 mana.
Yep. So now he's going to play the Arbor Elf and just pass the turn back. Yeah. Turtenwald going to draw a card.
I think it would just not even cast the Arbor Elf.
I don't feel like
more damage.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's a great card to cast this turn.
Yeah, I think Owen just wants to bash in for 6 and drop that Thrak Tusk and, try to wrap up this game as quick as possible.
Yeah, don't give him any chances to get back into it. It's going to be difficult for Chris to get back into it, period, as we have his deck list, as does Owen. So he's going to play Thrak Tusk, get that out there, place the additional land in his hand as well, in case he does draw Bonfire the Damned. He can miracle it for the full amount.
Yeah. Owen just playing to the best of his ability. Chris draws again, and he's just going to scoop it up right here. All right, so Chris VanMeter is down a game. Owen wins game 1. with not
pretty
much
handily.
of it. Yeah.
You know, his hand wasn't great. You saw from the Sin Collector. I mean, the thing with Jund, of course, we talked about over the course of this weekend is that yes, it does have the opportunity to flood out, but the cards that it can draw are of an obscene power level, and Olivia Valderin certainly falls in that category.
Yeah, for sure.
Of just being an incredibly powerful card, especially when you have a lot of mana, but it's just powerful in general. So.
Yeah.
Trivia time. Last one for the day.
Right.
Gerard's going to ask you a question. 12 months of premium for this one. Make sure you do hashtag your answer to hashtag SCG Premium. We'll select one of the people who do get it right. So again, it is about accuracy, not speed. Gerard, take it away.
All right, this was kind of a tough one.
Okay.
So if you guys need some help, I'm not sure what you guys can do. All right, so Jund looks to be, in good shape of taking on this tournament.
Okay.
Jund has been around for a long time.
Okay.
All right, there's been a certain Planeswalker that always appeared in Jund.
Okay.
2, 3, maybe even 4 copies of.
Sure.
But now most Jund decks kind of strayed away from this Planeswalker.
Yeah.
What is this Planeswalker that kind of got the boot?
How many copies does Owen have? Let's give him a little help.
Owen only has
main deck.
in the main deck. Owen only has 1 copy of it.
All right, just one.
All right, just 1. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, if you can name that Planeswalker.
Yeah, and I'm surprised this Planeswalker. Everyone's like, oh, it's awesome, and it is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really wondering why the decline in numbers of this certain card. Maybe if Owen wins, we could ask Owen in the sideboard.
Yeah, why isn't it as good as it used to be? You
Yeah.
used to see 2 or 3 copies of her, but now you just see only 1, a couple on the sideboard. We saw a lot of players this weekend outside of Owen just playing none throughout the semifinals.
Yeah.
So,
Main deck or sideboard.
Yeah, if you can name that Planeswalker, hashtag SCG Premium, 12 months of premium going to be given away, and we will announce the winner after this match does conclude. Hopefully it does go a little bit longer. Chris can put up more of a fight.
Yeah,
As we take a look at the sideboards here for you guys.
Yeah, let's take a look at the sideboards. Let's put the sideboards on screen. As we see both players right there, taking a look at some notes. All right, so Owen again, he doesn't have too many cards he got to bring in. He definitely wants the additional ground seal. Maybe the tragic slips. It's pretty nice to be able just to kill Turtenwald Arbor Elf, kill Turtenwald Absence Pilgrim.
Yeah, I mean, we even saw in a feature match from Owen against in the top 8 yesterday, where he played a Blood Crypt untapped on turn 1.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Just to be able to tragic slip an Arbor Elf or an Absence Pilgrim if his opponent Mike Sigris did play one.
Yeah.
Mike didn't have one, but then Owen goes turn 2 Farseek, and that just shows you how ready he is and how important it is to kill those Mana Accelerants with Junk Reanimator. So I would be very surprised, if he didn't bring in those additional tragic slips. I don't think he brings in Pillar, because slip takes care of other threats as well. But I think the tragic slip is super important here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now on the other side, Chris VanMeter, he has lots of ways he could go here. Does he think Garruk is good? Does he think Avazat's good? What does he think about Abrupt Decay? What does he think about Voice of Resurgence, Thragtusk, Sin Collector, Death Ray Shaman, Acidic Slime, Sever the Bloodline? I could pretty much honestly see Chris bringing any one of those 15 cards.
Me too. Me too. I mean, it really depends on what his game plan is in this matchup. I'm sure he's beaten Judd over the course of this tournament summit, but it feels like it was like either the most played deck or the second most played deck this weekend, so they certainly have a game plan against it. How he sideboards in that matchup, that's going to be interesting to me, especially because he's working with perfect information here on what Owen has access to.
Yeah, why is Sever important? Well, it's important because he has to kill Olivia. Same thing with Garruk Relentless, right? Chris is going to be on the play. If he plays a Garruk, Owen can't just play an Olivia.
Yeah, he has to set up an Olivia plus a shot.
Exactly.
At the same turn, that's 6 mana.
Yeah, so that's going to slow him down. Avzadat is just a powerful card. Owen's only real answers to Avzadat are going to be the tragic slips that he's going to have to set up, or the 2 copies of Putrefy, because it dodges all the sorcery removal. It will dodge Bonfire, it will dodge Missy Immortus, it will dodge Dreadbore. It can't get Abrupt Decay. So Avzadat's another one that's really good. Voice of Resurgence. Well, hey, Owen's going to have a lot of removal. Maybe he thinks it's going to be an attrition battle. Normally Voice is only going to be good against decks with Azorius Charm, Restoration Angel, some counter spells, etc.
Sure.
But maybe he thinks, oh, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a big attrition battle. I want this to kind of work as a mini kitchen fix.
Sure.
So I could really see Chris going any route here. It's gonna be close. Again, this is Junk Reanimator versus Jund, 2 of the most dominant decks in Standard now, and a couple weeks ago and a couple months ago as well. Once Junk Reanimator hit the scene, it pretty much stayed on top.
It hit it in a big way.
Yeah.
In a way that, the first time we saw Junk Reanimator, and once RTR came in, it was certainly good then, but this version of it is absolutely fantastic. It's been destroying the scene ever since it came in with Gatecrash, and it's kind of held on to the title of the best deck in the format.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and the certain Planeswalker that doesn't really appear in Junk anymore, I actually played at Grand Prix Charleston, I believe it was, in my Junk Reanimator deck.
Okay.
I felt it would be nice for a Junk Reanimator. I'm surprised no Junk Reanimator decks actually play this card.
A little bit surprised as well.
Yeah, because it has some nice interactions. All right, so Chris starts off with a Temple Garden. Owen just has an overdrawn tomb, signifying that, you know, he probably doesn't have a Tragic Slip. Doesn't really need one because Chris didn't have a turn 1 play.
Yeah. And Chris here, no mana accelerants. You're going to see a Farseek here from Owen, so he's going to pull ahead on mana. And I know one thing that Chris is not the biggest fan of in this matchup, because Owen does have on-fire skills and Tragic Slips. He bore some of his mana accelerants out.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Grizzly Salvage for Thracta, Sin Collector, an Isolated, excuse me, a Godless Shrine, an Absence Pilgrim, and an Arbor Elf here. So he definitely does leave some in, but I do not think he keeps the full 8.
Okay, so he just takes the Godless Shrine, and which is fine, you know.
Just wants to make sure he hits his land drops.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's really important. If you miss your land drops, like we saw in the last game, Chris just didn't really put up much of a fight.
Yeah.
All right, so Godless Shrine, he'll take 2 damage. Could this be a Sin Collector coming up?
All right.
It is a Sin Collector.
Take
Let's
a
see
look.
what Owen has.
We're going to see here a Mizium Mortar, a Bonfire of the Damned, a Farseek, as things that Sin Collector can take to go along with the Living Voldaren, a Sire of Insanity, and a Rootbound Crag. So now that Chris has the information on what Owen is working with, how does he want this game to go?
That is a really good hand.
It's a very, very good hand.
And Owen gets to draw step before he has to decide what he wants to do.
Yep.
I think maybe Chris has to take the Mizian Mortars. I mean, Chris does have Sever the Bloodline, so he has an answer to Olivia.
And a very clean one at that.
Yeah, he's gonna take the Farseek. I guess he's mostly afraid of the Sire of Insanity.
It doesn't want him to get much more. He doesn't want, I guess, Owen to get a mana advantage on him.
Okay, that's fair. So Owen draws for his turn.
Looked like a Cavern of Souls.
Yeah, so Chris played Godless Shrine untapped and took 2 damage. Maybe he doesn't have another land?
We'll see.
Oh, he does.
All right, so he's going to take 2 more.
And he's going to sever the Bloodline out of Olivia.
That is a severable, and that thing's got to go. She's removed from the game. In for 2 we go. Turtenwald moves down to 18, so 18-16.
Yeah, all right. And now right here, it's too early to tell who's favored in the game.
Yeah.
It could definitely go either way.
We're going back and forth right now. Trishion's race matchup, we are going back and forth. Turtenwald is running lands now. Kessig Wolfrun this turn, Cavern of Souls last turn, so he is very close to Sire of Insanity coming in. And Chris knows that. You know, he sees the 5th land. We'll see what Turtenwald's going to name there with Cavern of Souls, but he's got to be careful as Bonfire of the Damned is going to happen for 2. And that, to me, if I'm Chris and he's bonfiring for 2 here, that feels like, all right, he's got the 6th land.
Exactly.
He has to have the 6th land right now,
Yes.
as Vampire is the name here on Cavern of Souls.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see what Chris can do. I see a Garrick Relentless. I mean, but if Owen just goes land Sire, you know, what is Chris going to do? What can he do? So he's tapping 2 for Grizzly Salvage.
Fiend Hunter,
I guess he's just
Restoration
trying
Angel.
to hit a Barrel Rights? Ooh, does
Alright,
hit
so
a Barrel
there is
Rights.
a Barrel Rights.
I guess he just has to get the Isolated Chapel, play the Chapel, and I don't know, pass the turn?
I mean, we can't see a good look at his hand, but I mean, my thought is there's probably a bit of a tip-off here. And Chris, he just says, I want to hit my land drops.
Yeah, because he knows Sire's coming.
Yep.
Alright, so Owen draws.
Blood Crypt.
Blood Crypt.
So now here's the question, Gerard. Is he all in on Sire? Is it time to make the move?
Here's my question, okay? Why did Owen play Cavern of Souls last turn and not play Kessig Wolfrun? What happens if Owen would have drawn a second Kessig Wolfrun and Chris plays an acidic slot?
Sure.
So now Owen would have been left with no Kessig Wolfrun in play.
Yep.
Because I think Kessig Wolfrun is way more important than Cavern. Do you understand?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So
honestly, now when we see Chris's play, it's what last time the Grizzly Salvage.
Yeah.
You said with the kind of question, you know, is he trying to find Unburial Rights? Is that what he needs to find?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think he was either trying to find Unburial Rights or a 5th land in case he was to draw Unburial Rights.
Okay.
Post Sire, because now Chris's hand had an Angel Serenity. He discarded that.
Yeah.
And now Angel Serenity's coming in. He's going to resolve this. He's probably going to eat Sire of Insanity.
Oh, definitely.
Get some cards back as well. You know,
Obsidat and
eats
Slime,
that.
I think.
Yeah. He's got Obsidat down there, as you said. So
maybe
Chris-
Obsidat Fiend Hunter?
yeah, Chris is
Yeah.
in great shape now.
Oh,
because
really?
Now it's, you know, I have Angel Serenity, you have nothing, and
Yeah.
if you kill Angel Serenity, which is going to kill you, you're going to feel the punishment even worse now.
Yes. So just look how the game, you know, goes back and forth, and how Chris, you know, knew what card he needed to draw, knew what card he needed to hit from Grizzly Salvage.
Yep.
This is from practice to practice with the same deck. So if you guys at home like a certain deck, you know, spend time practicing with it if you guys could, because
Yep.
that's what will really improve your chances of, you know, having a good tournament.
And now Chris plays a Godless Shrine, Owen
doing
draws
well
a
in the
card for the turn. Rakdos Keyroom just passes the turn back.
Yeah.
You know, obviously in this position,
it's
hard to say who. It's hard to say who's favored here.
Yeah.
Chris has some very big draws.
Oh,
this is one of them. And
wow.
Obsidat Ghost Council.
Okay.
Gonna gain 2 and drain 2 from Owen. He's gonna leave that in play, I think.
No, he should definitely blink it out.
He's gonna blink it out. Yeah, it looked like he may have just said go, but yeah, he blinks it out. Owen draws a card. It's a ground seal.
Too late.
Yeah, you're a little late.
Ooh,
Olivia off the top.
Wow,
All right.
that's not too late. That is a sick draw.
Don't forget that Obsidat. All right, here it is. Gain 2, drain 2. So Owen goes down to 9, but Owen is facing a lethal attack.
He's got a chump block.
Yeah, so he has to actually chump block with Olivia.
Yeah. All right, so both guys come in.
Everybody in.
Owen's going out to 4 life. Let's see what Chris drew. I mean, he doesn't even really need to draw anything.
Yeah,
here.
he really doesn't. This looks like a Thragtusk to me.
Acidic Slime.
Yeah, kill your Rakdos Keyroom. Blink this out.
Yep,
Basically, no way for you to get back into it. And Turtenwald's going to concede the game. So we're going to move on to a third and final game here between Turtenwald and VanMeter.
Yeah.
Quite the matchup so far.
Yeah, definitely an exciting game.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. You know, I'm thinking about that Keswick Wolfram play when Owen played Cavern.
Okay.
Maybe he let off with Cavern because if Chris just had a 5th land, he doesn't want his Keswick Wolfram to get Acidic Slime.
Acidic Slime, yeah.
You'd rather have something else.
Yep.
And it's more likely that Chris has an Acidic Slime in the 5th land than Owen draws his only other Wolfram.
Yeah,
but just like think about that. There's so much to think about in Magic.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
it's the subtle things, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some people might just say, "Oh yeah, like what did you see wrong with this game?" Or like, "Why did this person do that? Why did that person do that?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, it's obvious," but it's not obvious. You really have to think about the reasons behind it. And now that I thought about it more, I think I like Owen's play more than my play.
Sure.
You know, because it's more likely that Chris has the land and Chris has the Acidic Slime. So and I mean, Chris set it up really good too. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I love Chris drawing the. I mean, I'm assuming he drew Grizzly Salvage for the turn. Maybe he didn't.
I think he did.
We saw him casting Grizzly Salvage that turn, and we're kind of wondering, okay, like what's he trying to do here? And you know, I think I found the missing piece of the puzzle, which is he's either looking for Impale Rights because he has Angel Serenity in his hand, and he knows his Siren Insanity is coming, or he's looking for a 5th lance to make it so that his redraws to either Unburial Rights, Obsidat, Thragtusk, Acidic Slime are all there.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what he's trying to do.
If he has 5 lands, him drawing Acidic Slime is fine. Yep. Acidic Slime will actually stop the Sire.
And take care of that Wolf Run.
Yeah, or him drawing Obsidat is fine too, because then he can just actually outrace the Sire. Even Sire plus Wolf Run, he should be able to outrace with Obsidat.
Yep.
You know? So we'll see these guys both pile shuffle. They want to make the deck completely as random as possible. Final game, so after 13 rounds of Magic,
it all comes down to this.
It does all come down to this.
It's gonna be a fun one.
Party in the USA.
It's not even the same song. What are you talking about?
I heard a remix with Miley Cyrus. It was Miley Cyrus and Notorious B.I.G. They did a remix. So I thought you wanted to sing that.
How was that possible?
It was Party in the USA mashup remix.
Oh, okay. It was a mashup.
It was a mashup. It was good.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Owen shuffling, Chris shuffling. It's tough, man. These guys have to wake up, 7 o'clock in the morning. They have to play. I talked to Owen. Owen said that he only got about 6 hours of sleep last night.
Yeah. It's a grind.
And you know what? Do you think that this will have some effect on what deck Owen gets in the team event? You think Reed and Huey are like, all right, Owen, you get the best deck because you're tired, you played so much, or you get the worst deck and we're just going to win anyway? Or do you think it has no effect?
I don't think it has much of an effect. No, I really don't. A player of Owen's caliber, I would trust him with any 40 over there, honestly.
Yeah.
No, I don't think being sleepy or any of that really has an effect on him. And I just have that personal thought in Magic too. Like I've won tournaments sleep deprived. You're never going to hear me make the excuse of I was tired. That's why I made that egregious error.
Sure.
It's just not something I really believe in myself.
Okay. Now, one of my fondest memories of me, you, and Owen is probably from about 6 years ago. We used to do team drafts on Magic Online until the wee hours of the morning. Do you remember this, Cedric? The wee hours of the morning. Me, you, Owen, doing drafts on Magic Online.
I do.
Because you used to be able to do team drafts.
Yes.
which was super awesome.
Maybe they should bring that feature back in the new one.
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
For all our Wizards of the Coast viewers out there, team drafts were a lot of fun on Magic Online.
Yeah, and I didn't know Owen. I only knew you.
Sure.
And I was like, hey, you want to draft? And you're like, yeah.
I got a guy.
Yeah, you got a guy. Who is this guy? It's Owen the Enchantress, right?
Yep.
That was his name. And I'm like, who is this guy? And why does he always 3-0 for us? I like
it's very funny. You know, I've known Owen since he was like 18.
Okay.
Because he grew up in Milwaukee.
I
went to school.
Huh? He was in high school when we were drafted with him.
Yeah.
He was in high school.
Yeah, I met him when I started going to college at Purdue in Indiana.
Okay.
And met Owen at PTQs, and you know, it's kind of brash back then. Some things have changed now, but you know, back then when I was watching him play at a young age, I immediately knew that like his technical play was already better than mine.
Yeah.
Which was just like pretty telling. He was just like, and I could just tell, I'm just like, this kid's going to be really good. How good he's going to be is kind of up to him.
Yeah.
And he's already, you know, he's dedicated himself to a game in a huge way. And, you know, Player of the Year, Pro Tour Top 8, many more accomplishments to come. We'll see if he can take the title down today, but he's certainly got a very capable player standing in his way here.
Oh, yeah,
Chris VanMeter.
Chris VanMeter is no joke. So as we see, a ground seal from Owen, definitely how he wants to start off. If he's not going to go turn 2 Farseek, he wants to go turn 2 ground seal.
You see Owen's hand already. He's got a Putrefy. He's got an Olivia Valderin, Bonfire. I think there's some Mysium Mortars over there. The necessary lands. Plays a Woodland Cemetery. Does pass the turn back. Again, you don't see turn 1 mana summons here from Chris. As Chris is going to tap 3 mana, and looks like he's going to come out with Sin Collector again. Get the information. Owen lays his hand down flat. 2 Putrefys, Olivia Valderin, Bonfire, Mysium Mortars, and a Stomping Ground.
So again, Owen hand is pretty good because Owen has the 4th land, and Owen does have Olivia, the best card.
Yep.
Yeah, Owen jokes about it.
I bet you want this one, don't you, pal?
Yeah, Sin Collector should take lands.
No, it should not.
No, just too
No!
Good. Just wait till you
That's
get...
the worst idea I've ever heard.
Just like 3 mana, 2/1 Stone Rain, essentially.
They don't want... Yeah, it's played on turn 2 with, like, Absence Pilgrim. Sorry about that. Go.
Followed up with the 6 line. Alright, so he takes Putrefy, which is pretty obvious. Now, with Sin Collector, the card is exiled, which normally isn't relevant, but it is relevant when your opponent's playing blue, when your opponent is playing with Snap Catch Remain.
So now Olivia has shown up again. So let's see if Chris does have a Garruk Relentless or that Sever the Bloodline.
It's only going to be Garruk or it's only going to be Sever. Fiend Hunter will not do the job. Owen has too much removal spells for Fiend Hunter to do anything.
Chris pays 2 life.
Oh, is
Garruk,
Garruk.
take care of it. Here comes Sin Collector. So
the
big problem is taken care of here. Turtenwald has all removal spells and a Blood Crypt. Let's see what his draw step is this turn.
Let's see what he draws.
He slowly draws this card again. It's another Blood Crypt.
Yeah, Blood Crypt. Not the card he wants now. He's not going to want to use any removal spell against that Sin Collector, but Owen is at 14 life. Why is he so low? Well, he had to take multiple shot lands.
Yep.
And he got hit from a Sin Collector.
Now Chris is going to come in for 2 more. Going to knock Turtenwald down to 12. Drew a Restoration Angel for the turn. Let's see if he has a 5th land.
Let's see. It looks like nope, not
a 5th land.
He's going to pass the turn.
Turtenwald draws
another Blood Crypt.
Another Blood Crypt.
This is bad for Owen. Chris is going to go end of the turn Restoration Angel, take away your Bonfire, or Mysium Mortars. Probably Mysium Mortars.
I mean, Owen does have
Putrefy. Yeah, that's true. Do you think Owen's going to Putrefy the Sin Collector?
That's the question. Certainly. Yeah, so he's going to Putrefy that.
Right. And then he's going to take 3 from Resto, and then probably...
Now he's on a 4-turn clock. Owen at 12. 4-turn clock here. I think Chris just drew a land. In for 3 we go. That's a Grizzly Salvage, so it's a makeshift land.
Sure, yeah. But he knows Owen has a Mysium Mortar, so he doesn't want to commit any more to the board.
Sure.
Because he doesn't want, him to get 2 for 1. So Grizzly Salvage is a nice play.
Yep. So here comes a Forest, a Cavern of Souls, an Absence Pilgrim, a Godless Shrine, and an Angel of Serenity.
He just wants Cavern.
I think he just wants,
the
Cavern or the Godless Shrine.
Yeah.
Godless Shrine he can put into play tapped here, but he just wants a land.
Yeah.
It sucks to put the Angel of Serenity in the bin, but I think he's looking at a Cynic's line. He's looking at an Obstat over there as well.
Yeah, his hand is stacked.
Yep. He just needs the mana to be able to cast the cards. He does take the land. He puts the Godless Shrine into play tap. He passes the turn back. Turtenwald's going to untap. He's going to draw. Let's see what he finds this turn. It's not a Bonfire. It's a Dragon's Skull Summon.
Owen just flooding out.
Mortar's going to take care of the Angel. There's your land, but Turtenwald is in a lot of trouble now because he has no action, just a Bonfire the Dam. His Olivia Valderin got taken care of by Garruk Relentless. VanMeter has found lands, and now he can cast his Haymakers in what is a Haymaker matchup.
Yeah, all he has to do is go Obsidian, drain you for 2, then next turn is lethal.
Yep. All right. We know that Owen does not have a lot of instant speed removal left. 2 Putrefies are gone, and he has only 2 in his deck list.
Yeah.
There's Owen at Ghost Council. Turtenwald's going to go down to 7. VanMeter up to 20.
I'm so excited.
He's going to blink it out. Owen's going to untap. He's going to draw. That looks like a bonfire. That's not very good. Yep. He does draw bonfire of the Tam. He's going to extend the hand.
All right.
We have a champion, my friends. Chris VanMeter with Junk Reanimator, a player who's been writing about this deck consistently, non-stop. You know, working on this deck with Brian Brondo on like crazy. Wrote an article about how to sideboard with this